Hello and welcome back to another video from Combat Fusion. I'd like to start by thanking all the people who have recently subscribed to our channel. It means a lot to me that you're taking the trouble to subscribe and watch our videos. They do take quite a while to put together, and as I'm a one-man army doing it, that's why I can only usually get a video out about once a month. But again, I'd like to thank you all for taking the trouble to subscribe. But as usual, there's a high percentage of people who watch our videos aren't subscribed. So if you aren't, please think about subscribing. It'll help us immensely and I will really appreciate it. So today's video will be on leaping crane. Now, leaping crane is usually done against a step through lead punch, but obviously as time goes by and you experiment with these videos, you can change that to maybe a reverse punch, a cross, or even uppercut. Might even decide to start using your legs instead of your hands. We're going to look at it without a partner and then give you 3 points of view, and then we're going to break it down on that move for move basis we usually use. Then at the end we're going to compare leaping crane with 4 other techniques from the syllabus and look at the relationships they have regarding the range that they can be used. So look out for that at the end of the video. So let's get into leaping crane. The initial move of this technique provides its name. Moving from a natural standing position, the defender executes a one-footed leap off the line of attack onto one leg. This is the crane stance. Simultaneously with an inward parry and knuckle rake. This also mimicking the flapping action of wings, hence the name leaping crane. A few common errors that need to be addressed during the execution of this leaping action are: when leaping off the line of attack, you maintain your line of sight to 12 o'clock. This will affect your accuracy when delivering follow-up strikes. Here, your own body tends to obstruct the view of your opponent's available targets. This is breaking the Kenpo rule of not getting in our own way. Ensure on landing in the crane stance you rotate your stance towards your opponent. This will allow you a much better field of vision of your opponent's available targets, enabling precise impact for those follow-up strikes. Be aware of wasted motion on executing the parry and raking knuckle. Start your action by moving from your point of origin. Avoid throwing your arms out to the side prior to leaping off the line of attack. Obviously, your arms may already be out to your sides prior to any attack. In this case, that will be your point of origin. The weapon being used in the rake across your opponent's ribs is a single knuckle. This is formed as a normal fist, but with the middle knuckle of the large finger protruding. The weapon utilizes the concept of pinpoint effect, concentrating the impact value to achieve a higher pain effect for the energy expended. Your opponent's reaction to the impact causes him to retract his punching arm and instinctively protect his ribs. Obviously, for many reasons, you may feel unable to attack the ribs. In this case, you may wish to choose a different target. Once you have landed your crane stance, immediately snap a blade kick impacting to the rear of your opponent's lead leg. This blade kick is intended to buckle your opponent's leg, affecting his structure and dropping his height. You do not have to make him completely kneel to the floor, although this may occur. You should avoid trying to force your opponent's knee to the floor, as this can sometimes cause him to fall backwards, potentially creating an involuntary leg lock upon yourself. After the execution of the blade kick, plant your leading leg into a neutral bow to the rear of your opponent, between his legs so your center line runs through his center mass. Here we are seeking the center. On planting the foot, utilize marriage of gravity to deliver a lead hand back hammer fist to your opponent's kidney as your rear hand checks at the same side shoulder. Time the impact of these strikes with the planting of the lead foot. Remember, when the foot stops, the hand stops. Your opponent's reaction to the kidney strike will likely cause his back to arch away from the pain. This in turn causes his head to move up and backwards. Take advantage of this reaction by using it to feed the next strike of an inward elbow sandwich, both strikes hitting their respective jaw hinges simultaneously. We will now proceed on to the extension to leaping crane. If you do not require this information at your stage of training, you may wish to bypass the next section of this video. Immediately follow up with the delivery of a lead arm outward hand sword to your opponent's neck, as your rear hand cocks at your lead arm's bicep. Now pivot into a forward bow as you execute a rear hand outward hand sword to the opposite side of his neck, whilst your lead hand now cocks to the side of your head in preparation for the next strike. Quickly repivot back into a neutral bow as you now follow up with an inward hand sword with your lead hand again to your opponent's neck, your rear hand positioning at your lead shoulder. Now convert that final hand sword into a claw going vertically up and back over your opponent's face, while simultaneously delivering a lead scooping kick to his groin from the rear. Follow up by planting the scooping kick and deliver a front snap kick with your rear leg to your opponent's upper spine. This kicking sequence is effectively a chicken kick. The impact from the chicken kick will force your opponent forward, causing his natural survival instincts to kick in. As your opponent falls forward, use the second kick to stomp down onto the Achilles tendon of the most convenient foot. He will now be occupied by the pain from the stomp. Take this opportunity to move up along your opponent's body and deliver a leading stiff leg lift to his jaw. After the stiff leg lift, plant your foot down next to your other foot, pivoting as you do so to deliver a side kick to your opponent's hip joint with your rear leg. From here, front crossover and cover out. And welcome back. So now we're going to get into that section of the video where we're going to look at 4 different techniques from the syllabus and how they relate to leaping crane. The main variation you'll find is the range in which we work, and obviously the change of range will denote which weapons we have to use. So without more ado, let's get into this section and discuss these 4 techniques and their relationship to leaping crane. Here we're going to take a look at the relationship between leaping crane and 4 other syllabus techniques and 1/2 of the clock, working on the close side of an attacker between 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Beginning with leaping crane itself, we can see the initial move is leaping off the line of attack towards 9 o'clock. This takes us through a medium range where we can utilize the contact range of the arm into the contact range of the leg. The 2-limb double strike combination is effectively creating a long range environment. When the angle of departure from the line of attack is moved up the clock 5 minutes, now stepping to 10 o'clock, we maintain the same contact range of the arm. This time the double strike combination is employing the same limb, which now appropriates a medium range environment in the technique gathering clouds. Moving up another 5 minutes, we will now be stepping to 11 o'clock. This will bring us into a close range environment where we can mimic the double strike combination of gathering clouds. However, owing to the close range, we need to shorten our weapon by now utilizing an inward and outward elbow combination in the technique flashing wings. So we have moved forward from a long range environment in leaping crane to medium range in gathering clouds and on to close range in flashing wings. Now let's move backwards from 9 o'clock. Here the attack itself will be utilizing long range. We will begin with the step through sidekick from hugging pendulum. Departing the line of attack, this time shuffling back towards 8 o'clock, we are moving out of contact from the attack. As the attack itself is deflected, we move forward from our out of contact position into contact range with an inward rake, this time above the arm level of our attacker, which subsequently places us in contact range to deliver a kick. Note the strike combination order in hugging pendulum is the same as leaping crane. Here we now move back to 7 o'clock. The attack of a rear crossover back kick is attempting to place us in contact range for the kick. We utilise a complementary angle of departure, maintaining and controlling the distance between us and the attack itself. We then take advantage of the forward momentum of the attack, which places us into contact range to deliver the kick, dropping the attacker's height and creating a medium range environment for a hammer fist. By studying these previous examples, it allows us to see the range relationship between these 5 techniques and direct us to look at slight alterations to weapons, targets, or both weapon and target to provide us with many answers. Well, thank you again for joining us here at Combat Fusion on another one of our InfoPod videos. As usual, I hope you find the information in here useful. Don't forget that if you have any questions, any observations, or anything at all you want to discuss with us, please put your comments down in the comments section. And don't forget, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a share to your friends. This is Andy Seaton at Combat Fusion, wishing you a good night.